So the green flag has waved at the pre-grid. You're starting all the penultimate race for Micromax this season. Big day though, Gabriel Hoffmann starting from the dummy grid. So it will be Nicolas Casarino who starts from pole position ahead of championship leader Noah Janssen. Arjen Kleiling, one of 4 drivers in the fight for the title, including Casarino, will start P3. Carlos Nees starts 4th. Gabriel Hoffmann looks to be starting from the dummy grid. So once the carts get released, he will be released. Len Abbas starts 6th ahead of Christos Malakos, Lennox Litzinger and Tim Steiger round out the 9 strong. So that is a bit of big news there. I did see Gabriel Hoffmann not on the traditional starting area of the pre-grid here at Wittgenborn. So he's now going to have to fight for a top 3 finish. So that puts the battle between Casarino, Janssen and Kleiling. Now it's going to be a bit disheartening for Gabriel Hoffmann. He was on the top 3 last season. He was vice champion last year, if memory serves me correctly. So it's Casarino and Janssen that will be the controlling the pace. When they let them go racing, Gabriel Hoffmann will be out on the circuit. 9 minutes plus 1 lap. The penultimate race of their season about to get underway. Through the final corner they go. Into the tram lines. Revs rise. Are we ready? We are. Revs are rising, and it looks like we've gotten away cleanly. So through they go into turn 1. Casarino has got the jump on Janssen into the first few corners of the circuit. And Carlos Nees has already got a great launch past Arjen Kleiling. So Carlos Nees is already showing that he will be one to watch next season. Through into the chicane as Gabriel Hoffmann is out on circuit, and now the hard work for the youngster begins. Move a little bit further back. Looks like Tim Steiger getting back up the inside of Christos Malakos for position. And there is Hoffmann. So Hoffmann now has 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Plus an additional lap to try and close on in on those in front. So Casarino already has a 1/3 of a second advantage. Noah Janssen. Carlos Nees in 3rd position, being chased by Arjen Kleiling. Now, Casarino was 25 points behind Noah Janssen coming into this round. They will be taking drop scores into account. So Gabriel Hoffmann is approximately, I'm just seeing where he is at the moment. Don't know where he is at the minute because he's gone across the line having completed the first lap and did a 1:03.39. And there is Hoffmann, so he is closing. The gap between Hoffmann and Malakos, 5.2 seconds. Top 3 across the line, they are covered, or top cross line, they are covered by less than half a second. Len Abbas makes that nearly a second, covering the top 5 overall. And this is where things are going to get rather tricky, folks, because it's about those that go for broke. The one that's going to go for broke, I'm very much assuring myself on this, is Carlos Nees in 3rd place. But the rest of them have to consider a championship ramification. But Arjen Kleiling up the inside of Carlos Nees. And Noah Janssen loses a little bit of traction coming out of the hairpin. And, oh yeah, he went a little bit wider coming out of that hairpin, and all of a sudden, he's now got 3 Maranello carts not too far behind him. Now, Hoffmann's trying to get up to pace, did a 54.8 last time around, whereas the rest of them are running in the 50, well, the top 5 are running in the 52s, but Nicolas Casarino has bolted. He has now bolted now that Arjen Kleiling has gotten close to Noah Janssen, and Janssen nearly came unstuck. In that race. through the hairpin. 5 minutes and 52 seconds. There's the move that Kraling needs to work at it and get himself up into second. But Carlos Nys, what an opportunist! Kraling was too busy looking to his left-hand side. Then all of a sudden, Carlos Nys decided to just thread the eye of the needle. Went through. Janssen got through on the next in a couple of corners' time. You have one lapse of concentration, and all of a sudden it can all go south rather quickly. And Arjen Kraling has just found out the hard way. I did say that Carlos Nys would be a bit of a disruptor here, and that's exactly what has happened. But in the meantime, Nicolas Casarino has managed to get away to the tune of 1.139 seconds. He's put in the fastest lap of the race of 52.190. As again, Arjen Kraling closing in on Noah Janssen for third place. It was second a lap ago before Carlos Nys decided to bring his 2 cents to the party. And then, that just goes to show you. I wonder if Carlos Nys has been named after Carlos Sainz, possibly with that first name. You never know, do you? It's like with us here in the United Kingdom, where people call their kids, if they're petrol heads and they love Formula One and they follow maybe McLaren or something like that, they'll normally go, oh yeah, we'll use Jensen as a first name. Happens all across the globe. Children are named after famous racing drivers because of their parents, but it does happen. So 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Nicolas Casarino has a 1.126 second lead over Carlos Nys in second. And it looks like that they're, yeah, with Gabriel Hofmann unfortunately having to start from the pre-grid, it has really scuppered his chances of a championship push. It's a real shame for the youngster, but I know he'll come back fighting again next season, whichever class he'll be in next year. Always smiles, him and his father Mario, and also I know that his family, the Croatian side of his family, will be still cheering him on no matter how he gets on this weekend. Great supporters of the young man himself. 3 minutes and 30 seconds still to go. Nicolas Casarino is doing what he needs to do. He's going quicker every single lap, but Noah Janssen's got the fastest lap. I know that Paolo, Nicolas's dad, will be there. I remember Paolo asking me all these questions of what was going on with like the podiums and the grand finals. I know for a fact that he'll be very, very happy with he'll be very proud of his son as well. But Carlos Nys coming under fire a little bit here from number 31 of Noah Janssen. It could be down to the wire on what happens as we head into the last 2 3/4 minutes of this race. And Carlos Nys wanting to get that second position back because Noah Janssen has again got himself in the right place at the right time. This is crucial, folks. This is the penultimate race of the season, and the grid from this race, well, the finishing order, the confirmed finishing order there from this race decides the final race of the season. And for Micromax, it will be at 13:55 today. But Casino is on for a very, very good weekend. And out of the Micromax competitors, well, there's been a couple of drivers that have been close to a perfect weekend. And the two that I'm going to tell you are the ones that are in first and second respective. Well, 3 actually. So Noah Janssen is one of them. Arjen Kraling in fourth currently is one of them. Nearly had a perfect weekend at Mulsanne. Noah Janssen had a pretty good, well, he's had 2 very good weekends. 2 very good weekends indeed. Arjen Kraling was close in Mulsanne, but that was even closer for Noah Janssen. And Noah Janssen has picked up quite a few points. 63 in the first weekend, 75 in the second. And then you look at weekend 3 at Kaupen, 47 points. Just over a minute to go in the race itself. And Nicolas Casarino is a second ahead of these two, battling away over second position. Noah Janssen and Carlos Nees. Looks like Arjen Kreling has dropped off the tail end of it a little bit. And the battle here, that will be more than likely between... That's the 27, Christos Malakos. That is actually a Formula K car, part of the same umbrella IPK has. So Formula K, RS, and also Prague. 26 seconds remain on the clock. As we go on to the 11th and penultimate lap of this first race. Wertungslauf 1 here for Micromax. The gap between Janssen and Casarino has dropped to just over 0.8 of a second. What's more, Noah Janssen puts in the fastest lap of the race, 51.931. The only driver to get that, get underneath that bracket so far in this race. Carlos Nees has also set a personal best, but we are onto the final lap because the timer expired nearly 30 seconds ago. Final lap is out for Nicolas Casarino, the number 12 from DJS Racing, through turn 1, and the gap now has come down again. 52.2. Casarino just needs to be careful because Noah Janssen is closing down. If Janssen had another lap or two in his pocket, I think it would have been a different story completely. Through the mid-part chicane, middle part of the circuit they go. Carlos Nees trying to close in on Noah Janssen, but time is waiting for no one. Through the hairpin for the final time. Into the next right, and then another right after that. Checkered flag is being prepared on the start-finish line. And that is it. Casarino takes the win by less than half a second. Noah Janssen takes 7th place ahead of Carlos Nees by just over 0.2 of a second. End of that race. 12 laps in total. Nicolas Casarino wins by nearly half a second. So let's have a look at the rest of the results. All the drivers have come across the line because we're still waiting for Lennox Leitzinger and Gabriel Hoffmann. So Casarino has taken the victory. Right, there are a couple of penalties coming though. This has changed things a little bit. Well, it's saying that there's a couple of drivers that have gone through 3 seconds on the, 3-second penalty for going outside the corridor. So, looks like Lennox Leitzinger did not make it to the end, but Nicolas Casarino took the victory ahead of Noah Janssen by just over half a second. Carlos Nees in 3rd, Arjen Kreling in 4th ahead of Len Abbas, who rounds out the top 5. Tim Stiger in 6th ahead of Christos Malakos. And Gabriel Hoffmann, who is the 8th and final driver that managed to make it to the checkered flag, with Lennox Leitzinger not able to make it to the finish, being a lap down of the leaders.